Let's try that. Anyone tell me I can now be heard? I'm hoping the answer is yes. Marvellous. For some utterly unknowable reason, Twitch decided it wanted to mute my microphone, which is really helpful. Thank you all for swinging by. Most of you, actually, from random Discords. Hopefully there'll be more people. I've no idea what this is going to look like. So I'm going to start by saying hi, because some of you probably never seen me. And then I'm just going to throw a game on and see what happens. I'm actually just going to run a game with the deck that I'm currently playing for the moment, and then you can all see how terrible and how badly this is going to go. So this is my current attempt to achieve anything approaching a result in the current meta. I know a bunch of you guys watching are having success. I'm really not. And I'm not complaining. It's a bit of fun, and hopefully this will be a stream where people can learn something. I'm not that good, but I'm getting better, and that's fun. Yeah, frontline Jones, I absolutely... My frontline deck has just sat quietly in a corner. I hate it when I do this, but I'm okay. This is a fine hand. No, I've just not been getting anywhere at all with it. Let's drop Pioneers and say hello to someone who I've not seen on ladder before, which does happen. So how did everyone feel about the OCC? I had fun watching. I know Corn Guy had his moment of not as much glory as we'd have hoped, but I think it was interesting watching the evolution. It was certainly different than I expected it to be. Also, for anyone wondering, this deck is something of a hybrid between good old-fashioned Commonwealth and Push, because it's been working. And I have been playing around with this for ages, and suddenly it started working. Although there's a bunch of stuff that I'm thinking about changing in it. Early pressure, find out what your opponent's doing. In this case, I really don't... Oh, hello. We have a Japanese ramp deck. Okay. That's the other thing at the moment, is I'm seeing some weird stuff on ladder at the moment. People seem to be enjoying some unusual decks, which I don't mind. I think that's actually quite fun. I do think we're due some balance changes. Swag, I'm looking at you. I really am. I know I kind of called early and said I thought it was a really good card, and it is, but it might be just a little bit too good. Tiny, tiny bit. So far, this person is not doing anything interesting, just doing stuff. And this is where this deck gets frustrating, because hand management is a thing. Because I really can't afford to overdraw. So let's see if we can encourage this person to actually do something. And yes, you are watching me play on an iPad, because for whatever reason, we haven't got... Yes, I'm damaging my own units, 4-card draw. We haven't got just watch as one of the pushes disappears. It's guaranteed. For some reason, we do not have native Mac desktop support. Ah, hello, Jet. Wow. I've not seen that for a bit. That's delightful. Let's start by turning it off. I will fix that in a moment, because that means it's disconnected, which is really helpful. I'll blow that up, and then if I do this and this, and screen mirroring comes back to life, which it doesn't want to, Yeah, what you're seeing is my desktop background. I'm glad you like it. It was working. It is now not working. Don't you just love technology? I really want a native Mac desktop port. Soon, please. 1939. Mac users are people too. I mean, I know some people think we're subhuman, but honestly we're not. Yep, I'm seeing them too. Right. I'm going to hop to a break screen in a moment when it wants to let me. I am still here. I am attempting to fix the Meanwhile, yeah, I'm just enjoying my extreme while I do. I have just blitzed out another digit. That went well. Hey, I'm right. I live. And apparently my technology also lives. We lost, by the way, horrendously, to insta-spammed jet of varying degrees. I know, it's cool graphic, but I'm still working on getting the sound transition to be a tad quieter. Don't make me get out the hand grenade. Hi, Carla. I like streams with a cam, like, honestly. Red Sun, I think it's kind of cool to see someone's face, but then I'm kind of used to it. Oh, good, I want to see Push this early, obviously. I don't. It's a joke. Oh, good, Monsoon Rot, that helps. Yes, I am. I am a very new streamer to Cards. I'm also technically a very new player to Cards, although reasons why you should care. A friend of mine who is responsible for getting me into this game in the first place reminded me that I should probably point out that if you're watching this stream, one of the reasons you should care to watch the stream is I've done alright. I'm about 3 months in. First 14 days I managed to hit Field Marshal, which surprised me and everyone else. And since then, top 500's the best I've done, although I have no burning desire to get overly competitive. So I'm attempting to see if I can create some interesting content for people to come and learn a bit. Oh, if I'm overly quiet, let me do... Try that. Someone tell me if the audio is... I had some gain problems earlier on today and then I turned it down because I didn't want to deafen people. What are we doing? We're not doing anything interesting. Alright, let's crank this thing up to like 70% and see where that goes. The plain volume I am working on, Red Sun. It is a third-party piece that I picked up, and it is therefore not something I have an instant. Oh yeah, that's right. Swag, you can go away. I've a way to do it, but it sounds like audio is actually back to being reasonable my end. My audio is actually so good my end I'm having to turn down my monitor volume. Because I don't want to hear myself talk. Nobody needs to... I mean, you guys turned up because you presumably want to, but I really don't need to hear myself talk. I promise you, by the way, the hilarity of early streaming is that there is card draw in this deck. I mean, a lot of it. But yeah, yeah, top 500's my best so far. I'm hoping to do a bit better. I'm not massively competitive, but I like learning new games. And this has been fun, because there are a lot of variables, which I think is kind of cool. So this stream is probably just going to be me rambling and playing some games. And then future content, hopefully some... cola, like... Oh, I'm like 3.5 months old in game terms, something like that. So I've done, yeah, no, 2.5. I've done, yeah, 3 effectively seasons. I fell into it very, very hard when a friend of mine went, hey, you'll like this. Yeah, for whatever reason, my matchmaking has tended towards throwing up against some marginally recognisable names at times. I have no idea how the matchmaking actually works in this thing, so I'm just going to annoy this man because my card draw has disappeared. But I'm learning. It is an easy transition from MTG White Lotus, it really is. No, I've spent, I think, outside of season passes, a grand total of 30 English pounds, mostly on fun cosmetics, like this funky lighter. I haven't bought packs with diamonds and stuff because I wanted to see what you could do. So my first 14 days in the game was all free to play. From open the game to field marshal. I spent a lot of time watching some very good players, asking a lot of questions of people, and learning what was going on. Yeah, so I mean, I've been gaming in all the different varieties for over 30 years. I played Magic the Gathering over 2 decades ago now, to a relatively good level. Went to some PTQs. I've played things like Flesh and Blood and a bunch of other CCGs. I've even played Yu-Gi-Oh! I enjoy card games, and I played really, really old, weirder card games like Legend of the Five Rings, which was really interesting. Pretty much, I would say that is a big part of it, yeah. Like White Lotus said, there is a degree to which, I mean, I'm about to be proven very, very wrong, hubris being what it is, I don't know, I should be alright with supply shortage next turn. But yeah, I mean, card games in general are systems and mathematics, two things which I'm relatively good at. And then just learning the meta and what's going around. Oh, I feel you, man. I first encountered Magic before it was even a thing. Nice win. I like a good power drop like that. One turn away. That's alright, I have other decks. It's just the one that I've been playing around with at the moment. And it's a push Commonwealth hybrid because I like building engines. However, on the subject of playing things, let's play something that's a little bit more standardised on meta. We'll roll this thing out. My deck is different than some of the ones, partly through lack of cards and partly through sheer stubbornness. I only recently took Africa Core out of my swag deck because I liked the extra 6 damage to HQ. I'm actually playing on my iPad, which is streaming to my Mac through OBS to Twitch. So I'm playing a touchscreen game streaming to a desktop because 1939 have forgotten that Mac users are human too, and we want a desktop port. We really do. And yes, this is already going to feel filthy because we have high rolled, which is kind of the point here. So if you're not familiar, some of you might not be, I don't know who's currently in chat. Classic high roll, we want a war production into the swag, then next turn oh, I see. The interface is different. Yeah, the touchscreen interface is actually on iPad really good. Less so on my iPhone. It's a bit fiddly for even my relatively dexterous fingers don't like small screens. Right, so this is just the usual predictable nonsense. I'm just going to make this person's day feel really, really bad until they dig out an answer. Or stubbornly throw light infantry at us. Also a valid choice, I guess. So what is currently happening is this person is burning cards for no tempo, which I like to see. Apparently a lot. Right. I'm hoping they're going to do something different because I don't like over-rolling people in-game. Because I like enjoying a game and not... But I am going to make them cry now. Because this is... So 101st into this is still the most insane thing in the game because obviously the 101 kicks in as you attack, meaning the first attack's 2, the second attack's 3, 4, 5. It's basically 2.5 turn clock as soon as someone drops this on you, which is one of the reasons that swag probably needs fixing. I'm not quite sure what the fix is. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have opinions on it. I think it probably needs to be limited or special or just adjusted down. Maybe just get rid of Fury. Yeah, and this will happen a lot because I don't blame you. If you're ever watching this back and know who I am, I don't blame you for quitting. There wasn't really a lot you could do. And no, my German level is very low because I have not traditionally enjoyed German decks. I found them a little bit... Yeah, so I've been told, and I think that's... I think as someone who... I don't develop for card games, but I've done development work and design work for tabletop RPGs. I think having a lever that you can play around with and not playing around with it is usually a terrible idea. Honestly, rarity is a really useful thing to change. I know it's an arse for people's collection, but I understand why they don't want to do it. Once again, We're not doing anything interesting. We're seeing if we can high roll, which we can. So this is something that my friend Neil does in his tokens deck, which is run 554th. I don't know whether this is going to be tokens. I don't personally rate it, because I don't think 554th ends up doing much for you if this is tokens. If this is something else, obviously it's going to do something much more interesting, but let's see how much he wants to actually find an answer to swag. But yeah, I mean, the other thing to do, I think, is probably just remove Fury. Ankle. Fair enough. Let's get some credits. I like this. I like that this matures and gives us more money. So we're gonna just spam 1,000,000 spoils of war? Question mark? Do we just... I mean, we can what? We can go to 6. We can take the front line and drop a very marginally buffed Astrakhan, which I guess is a thing right now. Sure. So let's take the front line, drop the Astrakhan, and war production into the MA, and just create a big body. Big bodies are never a bad thing, although much easier to fix now with suppress. Although I also think it was a mistake not making suppress maybe a little more available for different places. I think, again, we're back to swag, aren't we? Swag has got suppress really available to frontline Germany. I think any German deck is going to be running a ton of it. So that's fine. We'll put some Panzer Grenadiers in. I'm not feeling that I really need to do much right now other than wait and see what he's going to develop into, because he's mostly blazing through his deck. What do we think he's looking for? Pommel's good. I like that card. Sort of wondering if we're going to see a jet come down out of nowhere. Feels like that kind of a day. Just in case, let's remove that because we don't like it, and get some card draw because we really need it. Definitely seeing less Jaggro, which I understand, it's just not as attractive anymore. On the subject of needing answers, sure, so 101 onto Katushka, go bang, and then we will sit quietly in the corner. So weird actually seeing my touchscreen interface going out onto Twitch. I don't know whether I've seen anyone else do that, because everyone else is obviously running the desktop client. This is, so far, not a very educational series because we're seeing an awful lot of very predictable decks. So this guy is doing a really, really good job of showing us how fast this can just spiral ridiculously out of control. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, not a fan. Drop Jaeger and drop your op cost to 0, I guess. Skipper's pioneered as a thing, and I want the card draw, even though I'm sacking to get it. Oh, good, war production. That was successful. If I sound cynical, it's because I am. And this is like a classic illustration of how quickly his swag is getting out of control. At some point, he is presumably going to just start targeting my HQ, and it's all going to be over. Or they, I should say. I don't know whether you are, and that's a bad habit of mine. Anyone fancies a cup of tea? Now's probably a good time. There is nothing that we can do. So this person is just going to roll over us, and we will be gracious about the fact that they are. Always have manners about getting bait, especially when someone pulls out something nice and you don't have an answer to it. Which we really don't. This, by the way, is why I am primarily playing my Brit Save. I like comboing people deck, which I'm hopefully now going to demonstrate actually works. Because I find that it gives me half a chance to get past just being high rolled out of the game. Probably the most fun I had in my first couple of months of this game was deck building. And I'm hoping it will become slightly more fun again at some point in the near future. At the moment it feels a little staid. Probably not going to need Splash Orage this early. I'm going to regret that in a minute. What do we have? Okay. I mean, I'm just going to take some health, move on, see where we go. But I am massively appreciative of those of you who are in the audience, as it were. It is extremely cool of you to spend some time chatting to me and listening to my complete nonsense. Do we just... I mean, you're not actually offering up any threat yet. So I really want to know what you're doing. So we'll find out in a minute. So you need an answer, but that's okay because we have one. Do we just... yeah, we are going to just... you have to go away. You are also just going to have to go away. Okay. As I want control, and I don't like seeing something getting larger in front of me until I've got way more HQ defense than this. Sure. Yeah, we can eat a turn. Sort of hoping to get a bit of value out of supply shortage, because I have a feeling... hang on, we're just going to see a lot of really hard front line. This is an interesting functional bit of front line, which I'm going to actually have to pay attention to, because I like that. I miss front line, or at least feeling that my front line was good. And we're thinking we're eating 7 kind of regardless. Let's put a clock on them. And hopefully we will see one sooner. Or to be honest, we can just, yeah, we can just Red Dawn. So we're just throwing big bodies. which isn't a terrible plan. Nope, we can probably do better than that. So I'm going to do this. Sickle. See what we pull. Yay, pioneers, which makes me very happy. And I'm 6, so you have to die. You can do 6, so I'm going to eat an extra 3 to get rid of the ship and hope that we can pull some draw, because as is of course traditional, when you start streaming something it goes really badly really quickly. Spent like most of today winning games, and now I am on a massive lose streak, which I imagine will make Harley, if he ever gets around to watching this, very very happy. I really want to see the Glamour Boys right now, or actually any guard unit. It's dead. So we need health. Yes, we do. A lot of health. And we're going to get a chunk of it. Let's see where it lands. This is nice because this is actually seeing someone who uses a regiment that I really like. I like this. I think it is way better than it looks on paper. I don't like the fact that you've done all the bad things to me, though. I don't appreciate that. That's very mean of you. You're a very mean person. So answer a message. Ooh, okay. Fairly obvious play. And then we hope we draw. Sickle would be amazing right now to get rid of this. Rangers when it comes forward. If we win this, we're going to win it on push. So we're never going to get anywhere near Commonwealth on this. So we lost way too much tempo early. Excellent. Okay, that makes me happy. Glamour Boys is good. Glamour Boys is always welcome. And then... yeah, you need to die. I mean, I can make you die. Go here. But first of all, Pathfinders needs to go away. Just seen Minimisar's comment on the latest bit of IBM tech. Wow, I remember when IBM was cutting edge. And we blow up? Big bomber. Yep, there's nothing for us. Or blade. Yep. My appalling streak of simply losing games on stream continues. I wonder if we can make this an entire evening of losses. I mean, they say you learn more from losing than you do from winning, so let's hope that's actually true. Trust yourself. It works. You know it works. You got on runs earlier. And then I'm just paranoidly clicking all the way over here to check on technology constantly. I don't trust new things, which is probably a bad sign. That's fine. This is better. This is a better starting hand. The fact that... Hey, Wild Eyes. Thank you for the Discord message. How you doing? Let's find out whether we can make that any better. People have been saying this all day. I have the gain turned up, so you're going to have to let me know if that improves. Because I don't know whether I'm being throttled somewhere. Let's move the mic. And find out whether that makes any difference. Because I'm not sure what's going on with my microphone. Let's bring the audio cap down. Meanwhile, I should probably pay attention to the game that's in front of me. That's a thing, right? Actually paying attention. Because I may also have just been talking really quiet. Yes, first win, then sound. I mean, that's the aim. It hasn't not gone that way. This has not been my day. What are we doing? I don't care about the guard. I do kind of care about the honey. Do I care enough about the honey that I want to just blow it up? I mean, I'm holding the Commonwealth, so yeah, let's be honest, I probably really do. So it can just go away. And if you can't spot this, I am new to the whole Twitch streaming thing, so I'm working on getting stuff to work the way I want it to, as opposed to just however it feels like. That's fine. Pioneers is really good. Though it may actually be that this person has a good answer to Pioneers. We'll find out in a minute. Push is great. Pioneers goes and sits in a corner. The guard is doing absolutely nothing that we care about. So I'm just going to take a quiet bit of chip towards Commonwealth. If you are newer to the game, this is one of those things where you've not played a lot. You probably haven't yet realised there are some really good times to not mind holding credits. Usually I want to be doing something. In this case, I'm less worried. So the bomber blows up, which I'm fine with. We'll tick over when we need to. So let's draw some cards and see what Markgraf has for us. You're out of Commonwealth range, which I don't like, but I have Push and a Red Dawn, which will fix that. I don't like that. You're not allowed that. That's. You see, now that's just unreasonable. I mean, it's exactly what I want to do, but that's not the point. Clearly, if it's exactly what I want to do, it's therefore unreasonable that someone else is doing it. That's how this works, right? Yeah, because we can just find another answer if we need to. So Glamour Boys takes us back over. He's going to gain some off of it, but I still think we can get this. This one can get a bit questionable because the one thing you kind of don't want to do when you're relying on Commonwealth or Push is face someone who is flinging a lot of health gain on their HQ. Mainly because it makes me think they're trying to do exactly the same thing I am. And they might be better at it than I am, which is annoying. Okay. Fastest way forward. Can dawn in. Do we gain anything? I mean, the honey needs to die, realistically, so we'll eat the damage because we can get it back. I want to pin you because I want to get the damage back. That's fine. I'll pitch another guard on the board. Yeah, it's fine. Let's find out what happens. I think the main thing I'm happy about is that he's now just overdrawing, or they are now just overdrawing, and their overdrawing just makes me happy, because if your opponent's overdrawing, there is every chance that they're going to lose something they really care about. When I first started playing this deck, I did that a lot, as I watched Push go sailing by and cried. 42 does look like an awful lot of health, but it's actually not unmanageable because it's only, well, now 24 when we hit Commonwealth on it. This is sort of the whole point of this deck, which I suspect I'm going to have illustrated to me very quickly by my opponent. Although they are not running Push, so they will have a different way of finishing off the last remaining health, I presume. I have a bunch of pinned people, which is always delightful. Cards, please. I mean, pin's fine, but I would like to see something else. Really anything else at the minute. There are a bunch of good cards in this deck that I'm just not seeing. I think I'm sickled. I really need to see a supply shortage right now. Hi Wellington, that was very predictable. So we have to answer the Wellington. However, we don't have to answer the Wellington now. We just have to answer it eventually. Long game. And we've lost visuals again, which is great. With any luck, quite regularly. I sincerely hope. At least once a week, probably twice a week if I can get it to work. I am restoring my screen connection as we speak. My technology doesn't love me, but yeah, I'm hoping once or twice a week to be streaming. Monsoon Rot is fine. I'm attempting to concentrate. There it is. Yeah, that's fine. You absolutely can connect to my desktop. I know you can because I'm looking at the connection point now. We shall restart the connection point. In the meantime, you guys get to see my desktop. It's very exciting and contains lots and lots of tabletop RPG gubbins. And I'm hoping set schedule, because I think if you're going to stream, set schedule is the way to do it. Whether that turns out to be as doable as I want it to be, that's a different question. But that's the plan at the moment. Whether, in fact, it happens at all will very much depend on whether I can get the technology to actually stay consistent as well, though, because at the moment it doesn't want to. Oh, good, forced surrender. I've not actually played this yet. It's quite interesting. I've come across a lot of things recently. I've not played Forced Surrender. I've not seen it happen, which is kind of fun. We didn't want to do it. Okay. So, our enemy actually surrendered on 40 some odd health, which possibly suggests that they thought they were going to... Yeah, I am too. Managed to fix it previously. We will fix it again, and then we will work on stability. Let's see if we can, in fact, fix it again. Right. You will still be able to hear me over the sound of the music in a moment. Probably. We are back. We did win that game. Although, as I say, mostly through our opponent surrendering. Anyone actually in chat got anything they actually want to see me play really, really badly? Obviously, I've got... Yeah, the plane I'm going to turn down at some point. It's an external plugin, which is very cool, but I have yet to figure out how to make the sound quiet. Right. Let us try this. I have not tried this version. This is the other. This is the Soviet version, or at least a kind of pauper / limited collection version of the Soviet version of the prototype jet deck. Oh, no worries. I'm glad sounds good for people. It's been... the reason I twitched at it is that it's been really off for me today. I spent like an hour this morning before I had to go out Christmas shopping, playing around, trying to get sound. Well, we've got the jet prototype. We got... Aside from anything else, kudos on the Edgelord as a handle. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm aware Bubbles has been playing a fair bit of it. Favorite deck archetype? Man, that's a hard question. I like mid-range, flexible, like toolbox decks. When I first started in here, I built myself a... Well, I stole, actually, from J King 7, an old video that he'd done on using HMS Hermes, and built a sort of toolbox bomber spam deck. And then I very quickly migrated to enjoying US good old-fashioned frontline, because I love the toolbox. I love being able to respond to almost anything, and it was US frontline and that Hermes deck that got me my first Field Marshal, which is also always nice. I'm going to take the hit because I want you to go away. Because I don't like losing tempo. And then... Sturmbreak. I like Sturmbreak. Yeah, I think there's just something really relaxed about it. I do also like, as you will have noticed from the Brit-Soviet deck I was playing earlier, that I do enjoy throwing out cool combos and being able to do semi-ridiculous stuff. But most of the time, you are going to find that I will gravitate to relatively solid mid-range style decks. I played a lot of off-meta white decks in Magic. Finland. So, like, Finns, I want to play more Finns. My problem is, I just don't got the cards. Okay, so, firstly, no, you can't have a Skytrain. That's just unreasonable. We don't like that, you can't have that. Sorry, Chief, but no. Yeah, I want to try some of that. The Soviet Fin control deck looks really fun to me. I like being able to put the game kind of in a lock. But I don't know whether it's consistent enough in my head right now. Oh, I hate that they've... I don't like the trade. Is the jet prototype worth it to get rid? Because I can drop the Comet later, and I have the other jet prototype, but then I'm going to just draw it. No, Sturmbreak is fine, because you're not doing anything interesting, you're just generating wealth. We're just going to trade out. I don't like it, but we will, and then Givex Pioneer will hopefully get us some value. I only recently, by the way, got someone kind of whacked me around the head and said pay attention to Givex Pioneer as being a way to get an extra credit. I hadn't even noticed it or thought of putting it in this deck because I'm like, it's not an even cost card. But it is, early on, it can be really useful tempo-wise. We are going to get absolutely eaten by ramp shortly, because this is ramping to crazy levels of massive Bombers of Doom, which has always been fun. There's a lot of it going around. There we go. It's like I'm summoning it up. Right. So we need to kill the fighter. Jet Prototype will kill the fighter. Jet Prototype will die in the process, but then we open up, yes, we open up the bomber, which my opponent is so handily reminding me exists. Comet just dies, so Jet Prototype, which should be pretty much guaranteed to get us what we need. And then we'll make him do the hard work. Is the Trop worth putting on for... I think it is, because it gives him more problems to answer, which I can live with. So have you had a lot of success with it, White Lotus? Because I keep looking at it and thinking, if I can collect Finland cards, they look fun. And Salvage looks like a mechanic that I could learn to enjoy if it's happening to someone else and not me. While it's happening to me, it just makes me sad. So, I mean, we can chip away, but you've got air cover. This is not going to be fun. This is just not enjoyable. I do not have an answer, and that's not going to get me enough board presence. My issue is right now I don't have an answer. Yeah, consistency is a thing. I don't like inconsistent decks generally. Well, would you have just gone straight to face with the comet? That's an interesting, as we play around with it. If I get a good jet prototype off here, yes, maybe. Hey, Corn, how are you? I am honoured to have your presence, sir. That's very cool. Right. I'm attempting to concentrate here because this is technically winnable. And I need to pay attention because this is... Nice Corn's going to be like my mascot now because I have lost literally everything I've played. I started streaming like just under an hour ago. I have consistently lost games on every deck, which is of course the way that my streams are going to start. So he's got... What have you got? Can you scrape just enough to make me regret that I did not catch Ahmed's comment somehow in the future? Because Comet gives me the win here, but... And he knows I've got it, which Yeah, I'm not wrong, right? Somebody tell me I'm not wrong. This... I mean, he's still managed to irritate the crap out of me. I don't have lethal, and he's got me. He's got me. Schutzen's not... No, Schutzen... Can Schutzen do... Yes, because I can Panzer Grenadier. No, because I don't have the credits, do I? No, I have also officially nosed this up because we have Comet, but he has a guard. So I'm just going to blow Comet up. That's annoying. There is at least one really unpleasant misplay there, which I'm forgiving myself for because this is the... I'm forgiving myself. I've not played that deck. We're going to go back and try that again. I'm getting used to jet decks. I've stayed away from them for a while. Yeah, I mean, Ahmed, you're spot on. The more you play this, the more you realise you've got to kind of give yourself a chance. I hit the wall hard after a first month. Hey, look, Field Marshal happened. Wasn't that cool? My second month was much more grindy because I hit a wall of, oh god, I just don't like this anymore. I don't mind Panzer Grenadier. I don't really want to see the trop. But I like this into Panzer. Right. Focus, bear, focus. This stream is about helping people learn how to get high rolled by swag. Sorry, no. Oh, the irony. Fine. Chip, chip, chip away. Because it needs to go away. That's fine. It's only swag. I can pull 5, which would drop Panzer Grenadier and get me some extra cards, which is better than Heinkel, because Heinkel's just dead. Yeah, Heinkel's just dead, because 2-1? No, it's a 2-1 Blitz. I can drop him. Heinkel, yeah. Spoils. Then I'm going to War Prod. No, I'm not. I hate War Prod. I mean, I don't, but I hate it when I do that while I'm on autopilot. I'm like, oh, there's a card I can play. I've done that twice in the last 3 days on War Production. Been like, oh, crap, there's an order in my hand. It's fine. The world is not ending. Fallschirmjäger makes him have to choose his target. Then the actual spoils of war we can actually, you know, play next turn. Fallschirmjäger makes him actually do something. I love, by the way, having chat here to remind me how terribly I miss playing. I'm starting to realise, well, that's actually a useful thing when you're streaming, because it makes me think more. That's okay. So Catty's going to kill me anyway, so I might as well get the Heinkel value. Drop Panzer Grenadier? Question mark? Yeah, probably. I mean, he might high roll me with. I think there is the feeling that it can create a problem your opponent really has to answer that can be an awkward problem to answer. I will admit, though, I think it's not a card I crafted. It is a card I picked up randomly in a pack. I think Fallschirmjäger is relatively underwhelming except in specific circumstances. But there's a lot of it going around, and I've cribbed this deck from a kindly Chaos, who was kicking around in chat earlier, was kind enough to share their leveling deck with me, and I kind of pulled together a budget version of it, and I'm trying to learn what I'm doing with it, because I've given up on actually gaining any great levels of anything this season, because it's just not happening. Is this just... No, it's not just jet prototype, because you're going to Panzer? Panzer's okay. So let's see what we get with spoils. We get anything good. When we get war production, that's fine. I'm gonna run out of time because I'm overthinking. And drop another spoils. I want Comet because it's amazing. Then we're going to drop this. I'm going to pink you, and then let's see. We go. There's 85th in this deck. Sorry. So now we're just getting board presenced to death and demonstrating why the combo of artillery and 101 is frankly a problem and a difficult one to deal with. I am extremely tempted to burn the Comet to get rid of it. I'm in fact going to. Then do we... I'm not war prod into anything useful, so it's going to get free swing, which I can't do much about it. Smart. That was a very good play. Turning 101st into yet more 101st tempo. 101st, the 101 right now, however you prefer to pronounce it, is absolutely key with the way deck tempo is working right now, which I both like and loathe. Alright, kids, do we have a way out? I don't think we do, but we're going to try. First of all, we need credits, and I don't really care that much about you. Secondly, let's get some Panzer Grenadier on the board. Then, so he's looking at 4. He can't kill me. So let's celebrate the fact that he can't kill us. Draw some cards and make him do some work. Then he's going to blitzkrieg and we're going to die. But I'm summoning it from the ether. Or he's going to pull a buff. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to drop 9 damage on us. Easy. Although if I was him, I'd be considering clearing out some units in case we have anything that... I mean, not that we do, but in case we have anything that can make this more difficult. Yeah, you kind of want to eat. Nope, you don't. Okay. Come on, be useful. Spoils? What are you digging for? I mean, you've kind of got me. Yeah, I mean, you've really got me, but let's see. Problem is, I need to remove everything. So the 64 has blitz, so we want that on the table. So we can trade out here because we have to. We need the tempo. Oh, for God's sake, technology. I'm going to have to spend some time fixing that between streams, but okay, you need to go away. I'm aware that you can't see my screen at the moment. It's not deliberate, although unsurprisingly I am currently losing horribly. I need to figure out why my screen share is... This is going to be weird. That's not intentional. And not that mirror. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to have to find a substantially better answer to what's going on with this. I need to find... So if anybody does know a good hardware, as in cable-to-cable way to connect my iPad, upon which I can actually play this game to my Mac, let me know. Drop me a message, find me on Discord, send a carrier pigeon, and call it Speckled Jim. Do you have a weird preference that is suggesting that you will connection 1080? On screen. Get rid of you. Network. Prefer Wi-Fi. Advanced. Right. It's back. It's on. We're back-ish. Surreal. It's like the gang is all here commenting and being very patient with me. Hopefully future streams will be considerably less questionable. Right. I'm going to go play something for a little bit that I'm comfortable on. I'm going to be going back to that, though. And Chaos, I'm probably going to be coming and finding you for ideas about a good play strategy for that German Sov deck. I really want to like Jet Prototype. I just do not get on with the Jet Prototype decks. They, for whatever reason, they have not gelled with me since it landed. I've built a bunch of them, played a few of them, and I do not get consistent, oh my god, that's terrible, hands with them. That, on the other hand, is substantially better. I'm sorry, what? Okay, kids. Anybody seen this? Does anyone know what Asian, whoever they happen to be, is archetyping on? This is... Yes, I know you have smoke screen. Drop Jaeger. This is interesting. Mobilize. I've not seen Mobilize in ages. Yeah, I would be the best guess is it's going to be some form of ramp deck. Feels like just delay and get better, but we'll see. Either way, it'll be fun. You're not allowed to be a guard. We don't like guards. I'll spend the rest of my time, however, just pounding on your HQ. I mean, I'm going to presume. I don't feel too badly about it. Alright, Marines. Schutzen could be amazing if we... Yeah. So Schutzen next turn. Right. Going to demonstrate how much I don't particularly care about the Jaeger because I've got another one. And let me clear it down. Yeah, it looks like it's not. I mean, I'm not looking at this and feeling terrified. I'm just looking at this and thinking, this is interesting. I would love to see something that gets me... Let's try it out again, it's fine. Let's... Come on, you want to come out of your tiny bolster, don't you? It is! Big old stream king that he is, hanging around in my tiny little chat. I mean, this kind of makes me feel bad. I mean, not bad enough to care, but that's unfortunate. No, it makes me feel fantastic, man. I'm just kidding. I just love the fact that I've got support, because honestly, it's taken a long time for anyone to convince me there was even remotely a chance that I would actually spend any time doing this. I suffer quite badly from imposter syndrome and have done for a very long time. And so coming out and actually talking about something, even when I do think I know something about it, is an experience for me. Oh, good, it's an enormous bomber. We don't see any of those, do we, kids? No. This is where I'm like, does my deck carry a handy answer to gigantic bombers? Not really, but I can annoy them. Yes, I know it's my go. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Good to know. All of that gubbins. Reduce that, and then we're just going to go face and see what you do. Because now your big bomber needs to do a lot of very hard work. Oh, good, glamour boys. Right. Not gonna lie, glamour boys is irritating, but not insurmountable. Panzer Grenadier, please. Let's get a Panzer forward. So we've got 5. And then we'd have lethal, but we can at least keep the pressure up, right, kids? Yes. Does anyone else find people constantly spamming your go incredibly annoying, or is that just me? The Zuz thing is the Zeds thing really irks me. Right, so let's annoy the glamour boys and create some frontline presence. Yeah, the Zeds thing I find actually marginally offensive at times because I'm never quite sure how it's intended. And it's weird because in the right context, any of the emotes in this are kind of cool. I like that there are emotes in this. I think they're always a bit of fun. But yeah, it can be a weird one. Alright, Schutzen. Throw this into the front line. I try very rarely to mute people. Primarily because I recognise that some people may just, be trying to be entertaining. But yeah, if I just get literally the same thing over and over again, I'll just cut communication. Is just ignore irritating. There's a great thing from the Desiderata, which is avoid certain kinds of people. They are vexatious to the spirit. Is there anything useful I can actually do with Comet? No, because it's just going to die. I think we just eat Bomber. And then we're going to continue on our quest to finish today with more than one win in an entire stream. So I'm going to look back in this shamefully and see a million misplays. But I think that's just part of the experience. 8, 11? Yeah, we're dead. Doesn't mean we can't make some noise on the way out, but we are very, very dead. Yeah, Gilbert's Pioneer, it's a excellent thing. If anybody, by the way, thinks there was a play in this that you reckon would have actually won me this, let me know, but I'm pretty sure I was done from the moment that I just got completely out-tempoed. Right, I'll have another swing at this, because we're around for a little bit longer, see if we can actually get some in the W column today, and I'm not going to show you my current rank on ladder, because it's terrible. It was good earlier on. I was on a run earlier on today, and then it just went away. But I am finding things to be quite random at the minute at times. There just appears to be times I just land and hit the wall of people who are either just better than me, or I just can't get things to go the right way. This, on the other hand, is looking much, much better, because I like seeing a piece of artillery and a 101. That makes me generally feel happy. Katyusha. Go. I deploy you, and then the enemy blows you up, probably. Although the enemy's playing US, so ramp? Bets on ramp? Oh no. This is... Sure. Okay. Alright. Best deployment of 5 right now. I don't think I need... Yeah, okay. Let's see what you've got. Let's see if you can remove... How much of my artillery do you want to remove? Because if this hangs around for any length of time, it ends badly for you. And I really want to know what you're doing, because you're US with Soviets? Oh, baby infantry. Okie dokie, so you have to die. That's fine. Okie dokie, so at least we know what we're doing here. So 507th has to die, which means... If nothing else, it costs us... So your smoke's greened out. But if you just greed onto yourself, no one cares. Yeah. So, you go. You go. At some point, you've got to stick your head up out the hole. PR's a good card. I like it. Right. I think I have a vague idea what it is that you're trying to do. Yes, I know you don't like my swag. That's fine. You're entitled to not like my swag, but I'm just going to make it much, much larger. So you'll suppress the swag, which is the right thing to do. Okay, so that's good, because then swag plus sacrificial lamb is enough to remove you. Then we can just do this. Yay, we actually got the high roll, and I'm going to drop the Astrakhan for next turn. That was an interesting moment. Ugh, Pathfinders. You need to die. That's fine. Thankfully we can do that. We can make you go away. Someone was asking Discord earlier on about Pathfinders. Really good card. Very strong. I was very happy the first time I was able to get a hold of it. I mean, he might. That would be really positive. However, you know what else is really good? 3 damage to HQ and a promoted 5/5. I can live with that. Come on, high roll. And yes, I know I gave up a point of damage. Yeah, it would be kind of cool if it went badly for him and he bounced it back to my hand, because I can just do it again. But I think the pressure right now is better, because Astrakhan I can buff the crap out of next. Oh, it's dead, but that's okay, because he just traded out a card. I'm not sure I like that trade from his side. Oh, good, Greyhound. Fine. Sure. Although, just gonna do this, because then I guarantee that it's dead. And I can do this, and I can turn you free. So now we need to find some answers. This, by the way, is kind of that if you're watching this wondering how this deck works, this is how this deck works. This deck just gets rolling. He's throwing a lot onto the board, which is cool. I don't know whether he's actually thrown enough onto the board. That's a different question. But he's put a chunk out there. Right, what can we remove that's interesting? If we're very, very lucky, we can remove this in one go. But since he stole our toys, we can't. However, I'm not worried, because at this point I wouldn't want to be in his position. Red Devils is a good card, but I would have wanted to see it a lot earlier. Unity is strength. Someone tell me if I've gone mad, but that's the wrong place to play Unity, because you didn't? No, that was... I am going to say this, and then someone can prove me wrong, but that was just a misplay by my opponent. It has to be, because that was not a good idea. That's fine. Drop a Panzer, give it an enormous buff. So now it's 5. I can't get lethal straight away, but it's fine. I mean, kind of rip. Unless you got board clear, which would be hilarious, but I think not. Little puppy. Yeah. So, again, this is if this deck rolls well. It's beautiful to see. I will actually show you my version of this deck, because it's interesting to see different people's versions. So I'm running kind of all the standard stuff, barring a couple of tiny pieces I suspect I'm missing. I'm not running anything big at the high end. This is just a good, straightforward high roll deck. War production into something good. Turn 1. I'm looking to see if there's the Astrakhan actually might be the most interesting thing that I've thrown in here that I don't. So it's the 59th. So I personally really like 59 for the fact that it effectively moves like a tank, and until I've got cards that I want to put in ahead of it, there are some, like if I had some extra specials, if I had like maybe an extra Berg's Pioneer might go in. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I would throw in straight away. But I just find, because I mean, it is possible that some people don't know that I don't have a full collection. My collection is not terrible, but if we look at my stats, you'll see I am a new-ish player, so as you can see by the percentages, I am nowhere near a full collection, so there are quite a few things missing that I imagine people would say, hey, why haven't you put that in there? A lot of the time, because I don't have it. Some of the time, because there are certain cards like that. For a while, this deck had, and lots of people were asking me what was going on in my head, and I eventually removed them. I actually had Africa Core in this deck, because I liked 6 extra HQ damage if I could get it into the front line. But eventually I picked up the 2 newer German Panzergrenadier regiments that I replaced it with. I'll hold on to you, actually. I might be greeding. These, in fact, when I picked up these went straight in, because 64 Panzergrenadier is, I think, excellent. Because it represents anything that increases value in this deck, I think is really strong. So I'm going to try and vaguely talk you through my thought process while playing this game, so that then you can all tell me how wrong I am. This one not massively complicated. It's the only card I've got that's actually going to get me anything on it. Hopefully next turn I can get it forward with a Panzer and put pressure on, unless this person is going to ramp slightly less than I expect them to. They're not. That's fine. So we're going to come forward and we're going to try and get our own acceleration, because this is just giving us pressure. Schutzen, good call, takes those out. I like that, that's smart. There are different ways that I might want to answer that. I can put my own Schutzen out, but it's not going to be enough because it's going to die. We put a swag out. Yeah, let's put a swag out. We're just going to go straight damage and find out what he does. And then we're going to wait and see. Like, I've had 4 damage out of that 35T, which is good. And it's also going to serve, hopefully, as a speed bump. Sure. Obviously, you'd high roll it and do that, although I confess, so if I drop 101 here and put it on the Panzer and attack, the Panzer will go up to 3-3, which then means that whichever Panzer he takes out, the other one is going to remove him, creating an unpleasant trade for him. Alright, and put another... we put another swag out. Do we put another swag? No, we don't, because we can't get the speed. No, I'm going to trust my instinct and then be proved wrong. So, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose the connection again, because, obviously, the moment that I kind of know what I'm doing, it's going to do a thing. Screen mirroring is apparently an issue. Not quite sure why screen mirroring is an issue. We will figure it out. Or we'll become like the least popular card streamer in the world. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm aware. Right, so that's a simple trade out. I do want to see this. So, I don't like the enormous tank. The enormous tank makes me uncomfortable. Apparently, my Wi-Fi network doesn't like life. Yeah, tell me about it. Technology loves me today. This thing was completely stable this morning. And apparently now doesn't want to be at all stable. My opponent, however, appears to have evaporated, so I'm not sure what's going on there either. That's fine. I mean, it's not, but it is. My opponent back yet? My opponent appears to be being very helpful by, frankly, having disappeared for a cup of tea, I think, possibly. Are you just asleep? Or is he on? It's fine. So, I'm going to talk you through the fact that I'm currently playing against someone who's not even present, because I am. And I'm going to work on getting the screen back. I can only apologise. And promise that the next time I stream I will find a stable solution that is not this. But I think we're going to discover that my opponent's having even more technology problems than I am. Just frankly unfortunate for them. And then I'm going to see what is happening with my Wi-Fi ID. There we go. Don't ask, don't tell. I will look into that. Look, we're back in time to see this guy just explode. So, opponent goes AFK. Not my favourite way of winning. I am going to take it, because we take all of them, but, yeah. Alright, kids, let's swing for one, at least more. What are we on? We're on 7:10. I said I'd stream until 7. I'm going to be over, run one more, and then head off in the hope that we can actually get through one more of these that doesn't have a technology problem. So if you're there and you've stuck with me all the way through this, thank you for A, sticking with all of the technology problems, and B, pray for my sanity as we try and do this one last time. Then I'm going to go and research cables to connect my iPad directly to my Mac, because I do think, like, one thing that'd be really useful if you're in chat and you get a chance is to let me know how the screen looks to you, whether this iPad interface actually looks decent on stream. I wasn't sure, honestly. Whether it would work. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, Ahmed, at all. Which is why I went hunting for non-cable solutions. Hey, look, Ahmed, here's your 59 Panzer Grenadier, actually. Hopefully going to demonstrate the fact that when you tank it out, when you can get it early, it actually does have use. I mean, it might not, but we're going to try. Of course we're going to get pinned, so no it's not, but that's fine. I don't mind. Swag. Yeah, thanks for that, White Lotus. I spent quite a bit of time... BVG! Hey! Like, seriously, the support I am getting from lots of people, but in particular from the frankly magnificent Team Heavy, is hugely appreciated. You guys are both welcoming and incredibly friendly. Yeah, Cola, I am a very, very lucky that I am being supported by some genuinely awesome humans. Um, does anybody want me to feel really sad? Because I currently do. I really don't like Sexton. That's a lie, actually. I love Sexton. I spent a lot of time enjoying Sexton as an entity. I just currently don't like it. Right, make some choices. But yeah, honestly, the community that I have found in this game is so chilled, and makes me very, very happy, because I miss that sort of thing. Back in the day, MTG had, quietly for me, very similar communities and senses of just enjoying oneself. The Astracan down. You are currently not doing anything useful. And I like a good community because that's half the fun. But yeah, the layout, White Lotus, I spent some time doing it. I like graphic design. I design RPG maps and context and stuff. So I spent some time in it making some nice little stingers and stuff for myself. Yay, board clear. That was alarmingly predictable. Hey, Penny. There are so many people turning up here. It is just all kinds of awesome that you guys are doing that. I can do this, so that I can do this and make you have to sacrifice something. Like, more and more folks just hanging out. I have no idea how many people watch this stream. I'm going to go back and find out in a bit, because I can't currently see the Twitch stream, but this specific match, yeah, it's a little. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like that to go there, please, because I am very aware that I'm going to lose at least one of these, but I'd very much like to blow something up. I swear I put it on there, Penny, but I will take a look. I marked myself as cards. Oh, somebody's got the big typey emote. Cool. I am definitely going to have to look into that, because I swear I put it up. Honestly, I know absolutely. Thanks, Ahmed. I know not nearly enough about Twitch yet. So I'm on a learning curve. I will definitely be getting the category up there. But I mean, if that's the case, I'm even more astounded by the number of you very, very cool people who have turned up to actually, like, listen to me waffle on pointlessly. The next one might actually have some consistency to it. This one, we're going to lose a lot. We're going to spin one more game and probably wrap it up at that, because I'm not going to disappear just as new people arrive, and I've got a little bit. And I believe we can get another win out of this deck, but if anyone's keeping count of how badly this has gone from arriving at the start of the screen, please don't tell me. My win-loss card today is so bad. It just has been that kind of a day. Like, I have... Streaming is so new. Like, I've done events for like 50 odd people, lecturing and talking about coffee and all sorts of other stuff that's been like super cool and really good fun. This is just mind-boggling and terrifying, and I am just wheeling my way through. and I'm trying to get more and more into it. I've done a lot of supporting other people's streams in RPGs and other stuff. I have not touched my Twitch account beyond watching stuff until this weekend when I set all this stuff up and hope for the best. So, dive bombing is interesting to me here. Because it doesn't stop me turning off your ability, and then I'll keep mine. That, by the way, interesting note that someone I was talking to not that long ago had not realised is that another terrifying thing about swag is even if it does no damage, it's still suppressing. That might be a tweak they could consider to make it. Yeah, it's possibly on the list of things that they might want to consider if they ever get around to maybe rebalancing swag just a tiny bit. Not that I, in any way, shape or form, think that they need to. It needs a fix. I don't think it needs to be like nerfed into the ground. It still needs to be a decent playable card, but I quietly called this when I first saw it mentioned as something that was arriving. And I was like, this is going to be big. Yeah, I mean, colour's probably, if you're going to keep it as a standard, colour's probably about right. Honestly, that is one way of doing it. I'm not necessarily the world's biggest fan of that as a fix, because it feels like a really cool idea lost, but the problem is that at the moment it is a really cool idea that just works too well. Like, way too well. It is comfortably too much on the powerful side right now. Even for what is just a good card, it's beyond that now. I do think, like Ahmed, I think my preferred solution, even though I know they have a habit of not doing this, would be just make it limited. However, I am aware that they don't have a history of doing that, because they just don't seem to do rarity changes, which I kind of sort of get. I really do. What do we want? Do we want 101? We want 101, don't we? Let's be honest, that wasn't a particularly difficult call to make. Yeah, I mean, the one, in many ways, the 1-4 was what I found most interesting about it when it first came out as a concept, because it put it in even more annoying and awkward a category than the already, frankly, annoying and awkward 1-3s that US German frontline used endlessly and totally should have done. I definitely think suppress on damage only is a thing. I'm just trading you out because you're not doing anything. You need to die, so let's kill you. Because you're going to get really annoying. I'd like to see Fury stay. I don't think... I think making it easier to kill and keeping Fury makes it feel more like the card that they obviously wanted it to be. I kind of get what they wanted from it, and I kind of think it's cool. So we're going to do this, because I'm not going to do what I did earlier on today, and completely chuck away. Oh good, we're getting the Zuz emotes. I'll drop Panzer Grenadier, do this, drop Panzer, and frankly, you... Anyway. Yeah, I don't think we, like... I don't think we got this. I think this is probably going to end up being an L, but we will find out. I don't generally quit until I find out what happens, but Sissy is... used right, incredibly strong control tool. That said... I'm not gonna say no. Yes, he is. 2. Giving it a try. I don't actually want to do anything. Yeah, I would have loved to have gotten this suppressed much, much faster. I didn't get a suppress out on it, and that's pretty much been game, honestly. Which, in and of itself, actually is interesting. It is crazy good. I kind of want you to step forward. I want to bait your big old guard unit forward, because then I can try and kill it. Yeah, if you can get a suppress on it, it's... if I can just dig and get a suppress out, I will feel a lot better about life. But at the moment, I need 7 damage. If I drop 2 units. Schutzen, so Panzer into... Schutzen into Panzer is not 7, it's 6, which I don't like. Schutzen into Panzer, so Schutzen... So it goes up, Panzer brings it down, Schutzen... I don't like it. And yes, I'm just doing maths in my head right now. No, I am there. I will always, always, always endlessly check my maths, but you are completely correct. It's just not there. It's not in hand. If I could have killed it from hand, we would have had a chance. As it is, we're just going to GG this. I mean, kind of GG, because I'm not... The spammed emotes don't necessarily make me feel super happy. But yeah, as soon as this kind of picked up momentum, we were done. We needed to get a suppress on it. Yeah, I think value plays are so strong in this game. Let's go and see what we've actually picked up while streaming, by the way, because stuff has happened. Ooh, we've got standard gold. What do we get, kids? Let's see if it's good. Nothing else, it's pretty. I do like gold cards. Limited wild cards, never a bad thing. Cash is fine. I also need to figure out what it is I need. It's frustrating. I don't know whether I would... I wouldn't necessarily go... I think there are a lot of very frustrating cards in this expansion. I think it is definitely one of the hardest ones I've played against. I think Winter War changed things a lot. I'm going to witter for a bit before I go now, because I can. I have... Someone's given me a space to have a voice. I do think there are some fixes that are needed. I think Winter War dropped some really tough ones. Swag needs fix. It was a great idea, but made way too good. Jet prototype, I'm bothered by less because I think the issue with that is not that it's the degenerate jet prototype bits that you can throw in that make it quite good. I know it's climbing really well on ladder right now. I think it's certainly got tempo going for it, but part of the reason I may not necessarily see it as being that amazing is that I am so bad at playing it. Like, self-admittedly, of all of the decks that I've looked at from the new kind of Winter War stuff, Jet Prototype, hands up, just so can't wrap my head around. It does not work for me on any level. But I don't tend to like crazy stuff exploding everywhere. Decks, especially not ones that are throwing my cards away. Although I did have fun early on scaring people, because I built a deck very early that got me a good run of wins until the meta started to settle, which used Jet Prototype and the Soviet Alpine unit that, if it's removed from your deck, deploys. That was fun. Having Jet Prototype not only drop and come out at 7, but also give me 1 or 2 units on board. That was fun. I've settled into a pattern of stubbornly playing my push Commonwealth combo deck because it's a fun combo to do the maths for. And I have enjoyed the couple of times where someone's been kind of sitting on 12 credits north of 40, 30 odd 40 health, and then they've been dead in 2 turns. But that just feels fun. Really want my front line to start working again, but it just doesn't at the minute. I can't get the value trades anymore, and I do think swag's part of the reason that I can't. I agree, the Sissiosato, or however you pronounce that, I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce Finnish better. It's a shame I don't have access to Finnish friends that I used to have. I need to learn how to pronounce these names better. But that is a very strong card once it gets going. If anyone's had the pleasure of being on the receiving end of Alpine when it starts running, or worse yet, Alpine tokens, that's been fun. Alpine tokens has been fun to play with. And I field marshalled this season on a straight Soviet tokens deck, which is down here somewhere. This one. This was what got me to field marshal earlier on. Is a very uncomplicated deck. It does one thing as well as I could throw the cards together to do it. I am Baravanichi short because I don't have the specials. But tokens is crazy good if you can get it going. And it's still good. It's just not as good as it was early. Also, yeah, I mean, why low? So the other thing is, it's just... There has been... I think I said this in Discord, on one of the ones, like, Close Combat would be in the deck if I had it, but I don't have Close Combat. I don't have a single copy of it, which makes me sad. Otherwise, there would be Close Combat in their deck, for sure. It's amazing. My friend Neil, who got me into this game, also got Field Marshal on tokens, and he is lucky enough to have 2 Baravanichi and a full set of Close Combat, I think, and his tokens deck is crazy fun. Honestly, I think there's always been something just appealing about tokens. I mean, I played a lot of white back in Magic the Gathering, so I can enjoy tokens for what it is, although I tended to do weird stuff like Loxodon and Leonin white later on in it. Yeah, swag has become the potent, like 100% has become the potent tokens counterplay. Swag, any of the suppress mechanics, I think the ramp to the US, the B whatever from production order is also really strong with its suppress the universe. That can be devastating. There are definitely good fixes to tokens now. I think the only reason that I think it got a lot of people to field marshal early, I mean, I field marshaled on like, what was I going to say, probably 2 or 3 days to get to field marshal once I got it. And yeah, I did losing Fury off swag. I do think Penny's spot on that. There is a chance that that would make tokens more prominent. I think swag needs probably either to be limited or to have the health brought down, and whichever way you want to do it. 1939, if you are actually watching this, please, pretty please, just balance patch openly and say, hey, look, one thing we definitely got wrong is that swag should not suppress just by attacking. Like, I totally understand why, in a war context and historical context, the idea of suppressive fire and stuff. There's a whole thing floating around that I wrote in a Discord a while ago about a design idea I had for a suppressive fire mechanic, which is completely different to this one in this game. And I understand why it's like, oh yes, it's suppressing because of the thing, but they, good lord, just make it only suppress when they take damage. That it's a simple fix that will remove a lot of the degenerateness of it. Because the fact that I can just point it at 2 things a turn and suppress them. Honestly, I have had I have wasted so much, like, just sat there going, well, why would I not just suppress it? Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to get more connected to the community and get to recognise some of these names too. Like, before I wrap up as well, the one thing I will say is, like, 100%, if you guys have even vaguely enjoyed this, one, thank you, because it's just been cool chatting to people, even though I have showed you how terrible I am at this game, which is half the fun. 2, if you want to reach out to me on socials, just kind of bear_gardener anywhere apart from just bear on Discord. Find me, I'm on Kards Discord, I'm in J King's Discord and some other bits as well. Find me, chat to me, you can get me on Threads, Twitter. No, it's not Twitter, it's X nowadays, isn't it? Because Elon will yell at me if I don't call it X, even though it's a ridiculous name. If you've enjoyed it, spread the word, get people known. I'm hoping to announce streaming one evening UK time, like about 5:30, and then one morning UK time every week at a minimum, and stick with that for a few months and just see if it picks up any traction. I've had at least a couple of people ask me whether I would do some stuff for newer players, so the next time I come back, what I might do is just a little walkabout and ideas about things that newer players might find interesting, so they can come and find it later. I will also throw some of this stuff up as VODs on YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel, because of course I do. I'm going to attempt to be vaguely professional about this, but Lord knows I don't know how professional that'll end up being. But for the most part, like, it's just been chill spending a couple of hours with all of you folks. Big shout out to Team Heavy, who are part of the reason that I'm even doing this, because there's a bunch of you guys actually helped convince me that it was a good idea to do this. I will catch you all sometime later on this week or another time on Discord and other places. I will hopefully get a schedule out there at some point. Keep your eyes peeled on my Twitch channel. I'm going to go and see if I can get into the cards category and stuff like that tomorrow morning. But thank you all so much. It has been a blast. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Take care of yourselves, be decent humans, and enjoy the really cheesy music for a few minutes while the stream closes down. Thank you all very much, and bye. Or not, because Twitch doesn't. Oh, there we go. Like, Twitch can work. Watch, OBS, I can do a thing. Bye!